Today I wanted to talk to you about a watch that got all my attention because it has amazing specs at a very, very affordable price. And not only that, but it is a watch that is backed up by a 2-year warranty and that is made by an actual bricks and mortar store in the UK. This watch certainly got me intrigued. Cestrian is a brand founded in 2021, so very recently. If you go to their website, they go on to tell you about how they built their brand to make the best possible product available for watch enthusiasts at the best prices. Do they fulfill that promise? Well, let's find out right away. I went on about great specs on the intro. Let me go through them at first very quickly. You've got a fully 316L construction, so case, bracelet clasp and crown. You've got a ceramic bezel insert. You've got Swiss Superluminova C3 in here, a 120 click unidirectional rotating bezel, a screw down crown ensuring 300 meters of water resistance, and you've got a solid link, ingénieur style bracelet, and a clasp with solid elements. Pretty impressive specs that you would usually find only on AliExpress brands, especially at that price. But here you've got it on a watch from a European brand. We do know that even though the watch is commissioned by a UK brand, this was made in the Far East, of course, and they do say so themselves on their website. Let's talk about dimensions. You've got a diameter of 42.2 millimeters, a height of 13.4 millimeters, a lug-to-lug of 48 millimeters, but notice those female end links protrude a bit from the case. So you've got an end link to end link of 49.9. You've got a lug width of 22, and the bracelet goes from 22 to 20 and back to 22 at the clasp. The crown is an easy to grip 8mm in diameter, and the watch with its whole links weighs 187 grams, 173 sized for my 7-inch wrist. On the wrist, the watch wears as well as any 42mm will. But if you've got wrists of 6.5 and under, I would not suggest this watch. Without being bulky, you really do feel its presence, and I believe that below 6.5 it would be just too big for you, especially because of that end link to end link. And that substantial weight as well. When you wear it, you definitely feel that it's there. Let's talk about the dial. In this version, you've got a black matte dial. On the upper part of the dial, you've got Cestrian. On the lower part of the dial, you've got Dive Series in the brand's orange color, automatic right below, and 300 meters on the last line of text. So just 3 lines of text. You're not overwhelmed by information and writing in here. You've got applied indices. The one at 12 is the most interesting because it takes the shape of Cestrian's shield logo. They're all filled with C3 Superluminova. Notice, however, that the frame on the indices is pretty large, leaving a little bit less room for the lume. More on that later. At 3, you've got a framed date window. On the peripheries of the dial, you've got a marked sloping chapter ring. The hands are in between arrows and spades, which makes them quite interesting, I think. And they are covered in C3 Superluminova. The lume is good, especially in the hands and lume pip, less so in the markers, but the important part of the lume actually is for it to be good on the hands and lume pip where they have concentrated. The bezel insert is ceramic and is a glossy dark blue. It is graduated from 0 to 20 and then marked with Arabics every 10 minutes and with battens every 5. The 120 click rotation is good, with very little backplay, and grip is actually quite good. The lume pip is nested in an inverted orange triangle. Orange once again to recall the color of the brand and to match the tip of the second hand and the Dive Series text. The case is pretty simple with crown guards. Finishing is adequate. The top of the lugs is vertically brushed and the sides of the watch are polished. There is no chamfering to separate the two finishings. If you flip the case, you've got a lot of information here actually. On the round middle part, you've got the logo Cestrian Dive Series and some kind of serial number, I would think. And framing that, you've got some specs of the watch and you've got the brand slogan, time for the people. The bracelet is an ingénieur style, like we said, so 5 links, but these are no real 5 links, it's only one link posing as 5. It is held together by pins, which could be seen as a negative. At this point, having tested some other solutions, like the color system, I am really glad that it does have this simple pin system. The clasp is a hollow shell with 3 levels of adjustment, but the elements are solid. The clasp is signed both with the Cestrian shield and 2 times rather than 1. The movement, there's almost nothing to say here. This is the ubiquitous Seiko NH35, so very reliable and a very good option on a watch at this price point. What about the positives and the negatives of this watch? As a positive, you've got very good specs at a very affordable price, so very good value here. As a second positive, this watch is actually very attractive. I've had some comments saying that it does look like a Submariner. I really don't see it. The brand themselves have been working with a design agency based in London. It is a very well made watch. You can see that when you have the watch in hand, when you manipulate the rotating bezel, the crown, the clasp, everything feels good quality, well made. And that is very important. As negatives, you've got of course the size and the weight of this watch. If you've got a wrist size upwards of 6.5 inches, you're okay. Below that, this watch will not fit you. And even so, if you're a fan of not feeling your watch, this is not the watch for you. At 170, 180 grams and an effective lug-to-lug of almost 50 millimeters, you really do feel this watch. Another thing that I picked up at the very start of wearing this watch was the finishing on the end link. The finishing of those creases, mimicking the middle links of the bracelet, could be deeper. And loom-wise, of course, even though the loom is very good on the hands and pip, it is not good on the indices. But besides from that, I do believe that the positives far outweigh the negatives on this watch. And I do really believe that Cestrian have fulfilled their promise here of giving a watch that is aimed at enthusiasts with great specs, as well as they could make it for a really affordable price. You've got many other options at this price point, but they do tend to make many more concessions. So if you're looking for a well-made watch with great specs that will cost you below $200, here is the watch for you, the Cestrian Dive Series. Thank you so much for having watched the video. I hope it was useful. If that was the case, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. In this channel, I usually talk about very affordable, high quality watches, so exactly what Cestrian is proposing here. I will leave you here with all the watches from famous brands that are also very affordable. Thank you again, and I'll be seeing you very soon. Goodbye.